Today I just wanted to share a fun warm-up I just came up with the past few weeks or so. Though it's technically meant for the vibes, I think any instrumentalist could get something out of this. So here it is. So basically what's going on here is we're starting with an open C major 7 voicing. So we got G, C, E, D from bottom to top. We're just gonna switch the G to F, the B to A for that second chord. That's a F major 7, also an open voicing there. So we're kind of think of it like we're going from 1 to 4 if we're in C major. So 1 to 4, right? C to F. And then we just do the same thing going up chromatically. So instead of C to F, we do D flat to G flat, D to G, and so on. So this to here, D flat, G flat, D, G, E flat, A flat, and so on. So it sounds pretty cool, and it's also a great mechanical process to warm up both your hands and your brain. So that's the idea of this exercise, and that in itself is fun and beneficial, right? But I want to show you some cool variations that will keep it interesting and fresh, maybe even give you some ideas of your own. So the first being harmonic variations. So that first example was the 1 to 4 progression in major, but let's try it in minor, right? So instead of this, we're gonna have, which is G, C, E flat, B flat. That makes a C minor 7. We're gonna go from that to this, right? So now we got F, C, E flat, A flat. It's an F minor 7. You could also have a natural instead to make F7. It's kind of a slightly bluesier sound. But we're gonna stick with F minor for this. And same thing, you can go up and down, same process as before. So let's see how this sounds like. And so on. So another cool little variation uses some diminished chords, which kind of act as dominants. So let's start this little voicing here. I like how I'm calling everything little. In fact, these are not little, these are open voicings. So if anything, they're actually kind of big voicings, but okay, that aside. So we got F sharp, C, E flat, A. You might recognize that. That's an F sharp diminished 7. But also it can act as a D7 flat 9. All right, we got F sharp's the 3rd, C's the 7, E flat's the flat 9, A's the 5th. And it kind of nicely resolves to a G minor 7, right? D to G, 5 to 1. And hey, let's just do the same pattern, right? With the all four, then we can go up chromatically with that. Again, I won't play the whole thing, partially because I actually probably should practice this one before I even attempt that, but you'll get the gist of it, right? So we got D7, G, now E flat 7, E flat 7, A flat, now E7, one thing I'm finding as I do this, the bottom note stays the same. So here's the D7, G minor, then it goes to an E flat. That becomes the 3rd of the next dominant. That kind of helps me mentally keep track of where I am if I were, and I probably will in my own time, go through that whole process down and up. As you do this, especially all these variations, and say you come up with your own, you'll find that stuff that will help you keep track of where you are mentally. Oh yeah, one last quick thing before moving on. You can absolutely do closed voicings too instead of the open ones. Here's an example using the initial pattern from before. So let's look at a few other types of variations. So check out this pattern I did in 5. I actually just came up with this one today. You might kind of recognize it from the intro if I didn't butcher it. Like I said, I need to practice this stuff too. But this one especially sounds good faster and has a lot of that lateral motion. You can also try starting from a different mallet, say the top mallet to the bottom one. This is one I really need to work on still, and I will definitely not be playing through the whole thing. I'm just gonna show a little snippet. These permutations can be naturally tougher, but they make a really cool sound, especially once you practice them a lot and get them kind of quicker. It can be kind of ethereal, that kind of thing. I definitely need to work on that one. Wow. Well, I think that's just about all the variations I wanted to cover. It's funny is I feel like I've hardly scratched the surface of all the possibilities of this exercise. Though maybe that's what I like about it so much. The more you can keep something fresh, the more you'll want to practice it, the more new ideas you'll probably get from it. Trust me, I'm one person too who will do the same thing over and over again, you know, every day. And while that can be comforting and that has its own benefits, sometimes it's nice to do kind of the same thing, but slightly change it up. And I think this is perfect if that sounds good for you. So yeah, I mean, I even came up with new ideas while making this video, while I was literally on the Vibe recording. I actually had to stop a few times and be like, oh, I have to write this down. And so pretty cool, the power of practice, right? So thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful in your own study, and I hope to see you next time.